to join AEW.
Okay. Be great. All right, let's shout out our friends at Federated here before we get into some Wolves discussion. A fun game on national TV last night. But Federated, who is a partner of the Timberwolves, you can see Federated signage inside Target Center, and they have a great long-time partnership. They are all about helping business owners, and they're all about maximizing the success of your business. If you already have a great business and you want to take it to the next level, that's where Federated comes in. Great risk management tools and infrastructure you can tap into at federatedinsurance.com. And remember, at Federated, it's our business to protect yours. Feedback Friday continues here. Tons of Wolves stuff off that. They lost last night, but no Pat Beverly. D'Lo went down, early in the third quarter. He was hobbled. Peyton Dibble via Twitter says, "Tell me you don't watch the Wolves without telling me you don't watch the Wolves." Embarrassing stuff from Charles Barkley. I'll throw Shaq in here too, by the way.
Oh.
Not knowing Anthony Edwards' name on TNT last night. I mean, come on. Shaq and Chuck. He was the number one overall pick.
Number one, right? He just called him number one. It's what I love about those guys.
They kept calling him the kid from Georgia. I mean, they haven't watched a Timberwolves game in 10 years, you know. And I get that, like, the Wolves haven't done anything to really, like, earn anyone's respect. Like, they're 500 and they're having a decent year, and they're definitely on the rise. But you can't figure out Anthony Edwards' name, for God's sakes, on Inside the NBA. Come on.
That's why I love them, though. I'm sorry.
I love NBA and TNT NBA is so good.
It's what I like about them, which is really weird.
Hey, real quick here. You guys just sent me text messages. Do we need to address these text messages? I have not read them. Is this like an urgent thing on the show, or is this
It's very interesting.
It's
very
interesting.
It's very interesting. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's not breaking news, but it's very interesting. Let's just say it is some Jim Harbaugh steam to build upon the steam that we've been building on.
Let's do this. We'll get to it on Purple Daily. You want some Jim Harbaugh steam? Right. It'll be on Purple Daily today.
Let's just say some very important people are weighing in on what we speculated on, and they are not dismissing what we speculated on.
I love it. Oh, my God.
Because you know what we do on this show? Which sometimes leads to very sound speculation. Just because it doesn't happen doesn't mean it didn't come close to happening.
Oh, my God. I just read this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay.
Jackson and I are very excited.
Yeah.
Anyway, go back. But anyway,
okay.
That show is great. I'm sorry. I can't rip those guys.
It is a great show. It's just hilarious that they just kept calling him. What's his name? At one point, Chuck, he whiffed on his name 4 times. And the 5th time, he was like, what's his name again? The Georgia kid, Anthony Edwards.
Shaq's got those glasses now, and he's just, it's great.
They spend half the show just like, and they did this with, Shaq's theory was that, because Cat was amazing last night. Shaq's theory was that Cat watched Joel Embiid banging in the paint earlier, and he said it like 3 times, like, these national TV games, you're in the locker room before the game, and you're watching the game. I guarantee you, Cat watched Embiid. They got their thing going back and forth. And but Cat was amazing, and those guys spend half that show bitching about why 7-footers take threes.
Oh, Barkley.
I mean, Cat's one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA, so he should definitely keep shooting threes. But I do respect their point about he's also like really good in the paint, and he can pass out of double teams. So, all right, Soccer Lover 1 via Twitter says Malik Beasley has had his moments where he's hot, but man, is he hard to watch in most games. It's a shame because I was such a big fan of his first season here. He was rough again last night. He was like 1 of 10 at one point before he got that easy dunk on the Jared Vanderbilt hustle play. But he just doesn't fit.
No,
he can't get into a rhythm. We're halfway through the season. He's still inconsistent shooting. Doesn't play defense. I don't know, man.
I think that he needs to, in his mind now, at least start.
And cool.
I think he needs to start.
Go to
and he might not be good,
team.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to the Magic or something.
He just doesn't seem to. It seems like when he does get in the game, he's going to force it, and he doesn't care.
Got to find a rhythm.
And if he's hot, that's fine. Yeah. But if he's not, he doesn't back off. He just keeps going.
He is. If you look at like Timberwolves lineup combinations, like 5-man lineup combinations, 3-man lineup combinations, he is almost always part of their worst plus minus or net ratings with any combo because he's not a great defensive player. He's actually an atrocious defensive player for the most part. But yeah, I think he just feels like the type of player, kind of like he was the first couple of years on the Timberwolves, where he should just score like 18, 20 points a game on a bad team.
Yes.
No. Oh. Bulldogs 13 TV on Twitter says, I'd like to see you guys revisit the Warriors trade. Wiggins is an all-star, and D'Lo has grown this season. In my opinion, Wiggins would never have grown in Minnesota. Hard to compare what he is now and what he could have been here in Minnesota without the trade.
Agree completely. I am completely on board, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if Golden State, after the season is done, tries to use the springboard of Wiggins' success to trade him. But I absolutely 1,000%. I mean, you took Wiggins from the culture here, which has improved now, but it was bad, and you put him with an all-star team that's got some of probably the greatest veteran leadership possible, right? I think that point is dead on accurate. I do not think that you can say that he became an all-star in Golden State, ergo he'd be an all-star here. I think that is 100% incorrect.
Yeah. First of all, he's not really an all-star.
Well, that's probably true too.
He's not really an all-star.
Hater.
He's having a decent season as a role player in a huge market with passionate fans that got behind the vote. And that's fine. It's his 8th season. We are literally celebrating. Oh, Andrew Wiggins. Oh my gosh, he is now the 4th best player on his own team. Oh, what an accomplishment. Andrew Wiggins. Let's as a celebration for him finally becoming a competent role player, let's make him an all-star starter. That's right. Let's make him He's finally averaging 18 points and 4 rebounds, and he can knock down some shots in 3 different places for the first time in his career. Let's shower him with praise and bouquets. Like, D'Lo's a better player than Wiggins. The draft pick giving it up and having to attach it kind of sucks. But this has worked out really well. He has found a great niche. He's a valuable contributing role player with the Warriors. Has a chance to win a championship. With the Timberwolves, he probably wasn't at that price tag going to evolve into a role player. So,
yes,
no, it's
good.
It's been
good for him, right?
For both teams, yeah,
and good for him.
Yeah,
I'm happy for
but
him.
He's not really an all-star starter. It's
the infrastructure there though is so damn good.
Yes, best infrastructure in the NBA.
Yes,
yeah. Adam Huntley via Twitter says, totally seeing the Dennis Rodman comparisons that Kevin Harlan brought up last night on TNT regarding Jared Vanderbilt.
Well,
so yeah, if you guys missed that broadcast, like the audience, Reggie Miller kind of scoffed at it, and was it Britt Robson that I think Britt might have wrote that because Harlan threw it out there, and Reggie was like, I don't want to rip the writer, and Harlan's like, well, no, let's not rip the writer.
Right.
He's Diet Rodman. Now, keep in mind, Vando is 22 years old. Rodman didn't even enter the league with the Pistons until he was 25. And then, of course, became one of the great rebounders and defensive players and energy players in NBA history. I don't think it's fair to say that Vanderbilt's going to become a Hall of Fame caliber player yet, but the energy he brings to this team.
Yes.
And last night, I mean, that dude was clamping down Steph Curry full court.
Yes.
Last night. It was incredible to watch.
Can I compare him, actually take him to the favorite sport of yours truly and Dex? I think Jared Vanderbilt is very much like a young hockey player who comes up and plays 3rd or 4th line, right? But plays a defensive style, scores some goals, but you say, man, this guy's pretty damn good. Like, he's not great, but he's good. And then continues to ascend from there because the amount of work that he does, and he is, I think, literally a gritty player. Like, he is a gritty player right now. It's impressive, though. But I think it's probably more comparable to that than the majority of basketball players, because I see that he brings, the first thing is a work ethic consistently, and then from there he actually has talent too. So I would say that he is a young 3rd line guy who very well could move into a top 6 role here at some point as his career progresses.
And just like looking at in terms of a salary cap league in the NBA where if you're over the luxury tax, it causes problems. Jared Vanderbilt's making $4 million for the next 2 seasons after this. So like in terms of just value, bang for your buck, he legitimately might be one of the best bang for your buck value players in the entire NBA.
Yeah. And he'll be emerging into his prime. Like he's 22. So he'll be emerging into his prime. Some good things happening on this roster. I don't know why they got rid of Gerson Rosa.
I think,
That's what I was going to say. Gerson, you got the executive of the year. You got
friend of the show.
We should get him back on.
Gerson Rosa.
He deserves a vote or 2 for NBA executive of the year, and I'm not kidding.
I don't know. He didn't respond. I tried to DM him and he didn't respond. I just wanted to say, listen, thanks for coming on the show. Whatever you do in your personal life is fine. You're a friend of the show.
You build a roster too.
Sorry, Dex. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, also a friend of the show, Jim Pete. He was on Ryan Russillo's podcast from The Ringer earlier this week too, and he was talking about Vando, and I believe because Vanderbilt was, I believe, a Kentucky guy, but he was buried on that, like Kentucky stacked, right? Like there's 7 players on Kentucky that are probably, all in the top 50 of recruits in the nation. And Vando was kind of buried there, but then he found his niche here. And now you're seeing why he was like legitimately one of the best high school players and was highly touted and went to Kentucky. And now that the Wolves get to basically use him for this $4 million is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually one of the best in terms of like the value you get for the money that you spend. He's probably one of the 10 most valuable, and this is going to be misconstrued. He's not one of the 10 most valuable players in the league, but at the price that they're paying him, he is. Okay. Just get the flag.
This speaks for everybody. There you go. Hey, they lost and we're still waving the flag.
Oh, man. Tim Zygmunt via the Score North app says, the Timberwolves should want no part of Ben Simmons anymore. Great players start out with exceptional talent and then get better, consistently growing their games. Others simply don't. When someone tells you exactly who they are, repeatedly, believe them. Yeah, I can't see a scenario at this point where Ben Simmons makes sense. Also, it's just weird that he has chosen to sit out this much.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it's weird that the Sixers haven't just traded him yet. But the fact that, props to the Sixers, I guess, for just staring him down for 6 months. But at some point, if you love basketball and you really want to prove a point to the league and to your team, like, wouldn't you have come back by now?
I don't know. The whole thing's really weird.
Bizarre.
Yep.
It's almost February, and he's just not.
I'd move on from that.
Yeah. And then Chris McDermott via the Score North app. Could it be time for a Timberwolves YouTube show like you guys do with Realistic Randy on the Viking side? There's a couple of great Wolves YouTubers out there that you could talk to. Our guy Cooper is one of them. Timberwolves Daily, I believe. Cooper does a good job. So, yeah, we've got Judd's hockey show that you guys do a couple days a week and do some live shows after games. I think we would love to do, especially if the Wolves keep going on this playoff run, it would be a blast to do something more standalone. Part of the problem is just to pull the curtain back. Like we have the 3 of us are. This is Score North. This is our full-time staff, and we're so focused on Purple Daily and Mackey and Judd's hockey show that it's just tough to add some other big show or big thing. But yeah, I think it would be fun to find a way.
Come on, Mackey. Why don't you do that, Mackey?
I want to. I also have another role at Hubbard, just behind the scenes here, that takes up some of my time.
In Seattle. It's very interesting. I wonder if they could be trying to get an
deflecting.
Just like
he also trying to get the Wolves to move closer.
He lives close to the arena. All I'm saying is that it'd be interesting if Phil Mackey was involved behind the scenes, very quietly. A-Rod, Lori, Mackey.
I'll tell you, I went to the arena for the first time. The revamped arena used to be Key Arena. Now it's a Climate Pledge Arena. I went to a stand-up comedy show there last weekend.
Nice.
Great arena, better than Target Center. They got some bars and stuff.
Better than Target Center.
Lipstick on a pig.
Benilde Gym beats Target Center.
Yeah.
And it's
I do not want the Timberwolves to move, though. I'd rather the Sonics just come back and just add a team. Mm-hmm. So, we will explore doing more Wolves for sure. I think our audience would.
Well, if they're in the playoffs, there might have to be some type of post-game show.
Yes. Oh,
That's all I'm saying.
We'll do that.
Absolutely.
We'll do that for sure.
Yes. All right, that's your Feedback Friday here. Mackey and Judd. We're going to dive into some Jim Harbaugh speculation on Purple Daily today. So
Breaking Jim
don't
Harbaugh
miss that.
speculation.
Yep. See you guys.